Hi, I'm Nikhila Suneel, and this is my analysis and redesign challenge on Instagram. So Instagram is a social media app, where you can post pictures and videos and, comment on people's stuff and like them. It is an American company owned by Meta Platforms, and they're constantly adding new features. So they have direct and indirect stakeholders. I would say like the direct stakeholders use the application every day. So they could be individuals, communities, environments, businesses, workplace, or even schools. And it reaches a large number of users because it is a online presence. Their indirect stakeholders could be like Meta and Instagram specific employees that work on, the day-to-day functions, and they're determining what are successes and what are failures. And they work on the functionality, appearances, and usability of the app. So direct stakeholders' motivations would most likely be like either having just a social media presence, wanting to see what others are posting and wanting to post. Businesses could be promoting themselves, displaying their service or, their product, but there's a lot at stake as well. If the user interface is confusing or if it's crashing or updates are buggy, then like users are not going to want to use it and they're going to turn to other social media platforms to rather use. And here you can see there was two research methods, looking up reviews and conducting interviews to see like the positive and negative ratings of Instagram. So for indirect stakeholders, a main motivation would be to see their company grow, thrive socially in the market, economically, and as well as technological advancements. As a business grows and economically, this employees also grow as well. A salary increase and like job stability. The motivation of just like progress. But there's also a lot at stake. Companies like this are based on user experience. So if the user likes it, then the company grows. If the user doesn't like it, then it tanks. And that affects employees, their pay, their job position, and their job stability. So the first design critique I found is that like in Instagram, there are things called archive posts and archive stories, and they're not presented on the user's main page. So when the user posts on their story, they're able to view all users that viewed and liked their story. However, when the user accesses their archived story, so the thing that's not on their page anymore, they're not able to view who has viewed/liked it after 48 hours. This is an issue of usability. The direct stakeholder, which could be a high school student, should be able to view who viewed it and liked their story, even when they're able to post like 48 hours and beyond. The user interface provides an open space, so I don't see the issue where they couldn't see the listed followers of who viewed and liked their story. The second design critique is that in Instagram, users can view their friends' regular feed posts and share them on their own stories for others to view by clicking the share icon. But however, this is not possible for reposting your friend's story post on your own story. This is an issue of a lack of feature. Here you can see in the pictures that you can send it to other people via DM direct message, but you can't post it on your own story, even though the UI would be the exact same if you were reposting a regular post story. Hence, adding the ability to repost a story wouldn't change the UI as much. But the redesign proposal is this is the first visual representation. The reason I did this was I conducted some interviews with fellow college students living in my dorm, primary users of Instagram, and they felt that if it was available in such forms, in other forms, to see your regular story posts of archived posts, then it should be available to see archived story posts and their data even after 48 hours. There are assumptions though, like, was it made for the usability? Would the users even be comfortable using this UI, even though it's quite similar to what they've seen before? And hopefully that comfortability will make the addition to the app easier. But there's also limitations, like lack of variability in the sample size. And like maybe I wasn't reaching all target audiences. So I couldn't really get the solid answers that I wanted of an outcome to this like solution. And then for the redesign for the second proposal, through the primary research with the college students and looking at reviews on websites, reposting regular feed posts is appreciated, but users don't want to just be prohibited to being only able to repost feed posts, but also story posts. There are assumptions and limitations with this. Obviously, like sample size could have been too small, and the direct stakeholders didn't actually want this addition of this usability feature. But there are limitations allowing the ability to share your story. There is not really much room for extension. Once you can repost on your own story, what is there more to go after that? But yeah, so I would say, as a conclusion, I believe The redesign proposals for 2 issues regarding archived story posts and reposting story posts on your Instagram are solutions that will introduce new features and enable more usability for users. The first redesign is important, obviously, because users want to be able to view all the other users that have viewed and liked their story, even after it's off their page. They want to have access to greater amounts of data and, see the activity that's actually occurring on their social media page. For the second redesign, it's important for users to not only view their friend story posts, but to share them, click and share. And this is allowing users to be more aware of content, use the application more, and spread information faster and in a more efficient way. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. And yeah.